Now, all right, good evening, nerds around the world, and welcome to episode 36 of the Nerds United as One podcast. It is your boy, Paul English, and we have a great show for you today, as always. This is episode 1 of Trilogy Month. All throughout the month of September, it is, we will be discussing 4 iconic legendary trilogies. And to help out, in this episode, we have Back to the Future, a phenomenal trilogy celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. It is the beloved trilogy, amazing movies, and we're going to talk about it today. And to help out with it, I have an absolutely terrific panel that I am going to introduce to you, beginning with our co-admin, Mr. Chris Miller. Chris, how are you?
Paul, great to be here. Absolutely. This month is going to be so exciting, especially this one. Where we're going, we don't need rooms.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Making his long-awaited return to Nerds United as One. This man has not done a show in over a month, but we are thrilled to have him. Our true founder, our God, our Lord, our founder, Mr. Caleb Tuss. Caleb, what's up?
Woo! Sorry, I've been really busy. Work, kids, got a fiance, but I'm back now for as much as I can.
Man, anyone hear him?
Oh, Caleb, we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. I don't suppose you got any headphones or something to help out with that, would you?
We just lost him.
Guess he dropped out.
He's probably fixing it.
Yeah, well, while we wait for him to come back, also returning to us today, it is Mr. Jack Fern. Jack, what's up?
Good, great to be here.
All right, we also have Avi back with us. Say hello, Avi.
Yay! I'm back. I don't have any introduction.
All right, and hoping to become a regular here, we have Mr. Colton Hunt. Colton, how are you?
Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads.
CSI, Miami, Yale.
Yeah!
I was making sure that was the right show. I was like, oh no, I hope I don't say the wrong show.
All right, everyone. So, before we get, as I said in the introduction, before we get to Back to the Future, we have a couple stories, movie-related stories that we need to go over. First one being, this one came out originally appeared on Comic Vine, showed up on Yahoo News on September 4th. According to this story, Chris Evans, who is most best known for Captain Steve Rogers, aka Captain America in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, has said that he is open to extending his contract, which, as we know, ends after the second Infinity War. His contract with Marvel was up, but he says he's open to extending his contract, open to playing Captain America for a while longer. So, gentlemen, this is pretty big. We all thought that Chris Evans might be done, but let's talk about this rumor. Are you all excited? Do you all want to see Chris Evans come back, return to be Captain America? I, for one, I say yeah. I mean, I can't really picture anyone else playing Captain America, so yeah, I would love for him to stick around for a few years longer. He's, I may not see Captain America as my favorite character in the Marvel world. I love this guy. He's awesome, and Chris Evans is a great actor to play him, so yeah, I'd like to see him stick around for a little while longer. Chris, I'll go to you at this one. What do you think? Do you want to see Chris Evans stick around in the MCU for a while longer?
Absolutely. Of course, before Captain America, Evans had his brief stint in the Marvel Universe as the Human Torch in that god-awful Fantastic Four adaptation from 10 years ago.
Yeah, but he was still fun in that role. I'll admit it.
Yeah,
And that one is still better than the new one.
We don't need to talk about that, Jag.
Has anyone else seen it?
No.
Has anyone else even seen the new one?
I'll
I
probably
wanted
see
to,
it
but
when it
after
comes
hearing
on
so many
HBO.
I was,
saw
but
it-
after reading so many bad things about it, I'm like, okay, screw it.
I'll probably like it.
yeah. But yeah, 10
I
years
saw
ago,
it for free, so I'm happy.
boy, 10 years ago he started out with that, but he redeemed himself in the eyes of Marvel fans as this character. He really embodies the kind of the nobility, the courage, and the spirit of this character. There was saying he would go off to do other projects. I was really certain that he wasn't going to stick around. But but yeah, it's like, I mean, of course. I mean, he's done a really terrific run as this character. I'm just happy that he's considering still having a future with the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
All right, all right. Caleb, I'm going to come to you on this one. Would you like to see Chris Evans stick around in the MCU with Captain America for a while longer?
Can y'all hear me?
I heard it.
I
heard something.
barely, buddy. We can't. We're having trouble hearing you.
Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can. Oh, damn. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little better.
How about now?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. Sorry, I guess the sound on this thing. So, okay. Sorry about before. I guess the sound, but this is cool. I mean, he's good. He's fine. He plays the role well. After the first Captain America, I was a little skeptical. After Winter Soldier, I was blown away. So I mean, I think he's good. I mean, I guess this squashes the rumors that they were gonna replace him with Sebastian Stan. Because he had a 9. He had like a 9-picture deal with Marvel. So I guess this kind of squashes the idea that he wanted out. If he's saying that he wants to stay, but he probably stepped back and said, there's a lot of money that I can make.
Yep.
Like I playing this character for a long time. I mean, he's really good. I mean, I'm super stoked for Civil War. So yeah, I mean, I'm happy.
Okay, all right. Jack, what about you? Chris Evans sticking around as Captain America, good or bad?
I love this news. This needs to happen, and I think we have a better chance of this happening now than actually a couple of years ago because of the shakeup in Marvel Studios.
All right. Colton, what about you? Do you like the idea of Chris Evans sticking around?
I'm all for it. I've grown to like him since, well, I'm one of the few people that actually really enjoys the first Avenger, and
Everyone
I liked him in that movie, and as the common opinion is, he was great in The Winter Soldier as well. So I'm all for him getting maybe 1 or 2 more solo movies out of his character before he, whatever happens to him and whatnot. Though by the same token, them actually making it official that he's looking to maybe extend his contract kind of kills some of the suspense for the Infinity War, since, well, if he extends his contract, and we know he's going to obviously make it, unless they are trolling us and whatnot. Never know. But aside from that, I'd be glad to see him stick around if he does decide to do so.
All right, all right. Avi, what about you? Exciting news to hear that Chris Evans may stick around in the MCU for a little bit longer.
I mean, I'm happy. I like him. He's already Captain America. There's not much I can make out of him still being Captain America. So I guess I'm excited.
You guess?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, it's not like, it's like saying someone that's already played a character is still playing the character. There's not much, it's not that shocking. It's kind of just what you said, Paul. They already have him, or whatever you said. It's like, I don't know. I don't know how excited I should be over a character that's already playing, an actor that's already playing a character is pretty much renewing their contract to play the character still.
Well, if he doesn't renew his contract, they can always kill him off, so...
I know, and then I'd have something to make of it. I'm just not making anything of the same actor as playing the same character. I like him as the character. There's just nothing much else to say that he's still playing the character.
All right. So, seems like we're all excited about this. Okay, so let's get on to the other story that I wanted to bring up, and that is a rumor has leaked. This is from dailysuperheroes.com. This was posted August 2nd, I guess. I only found it a couple days ago. It is a reported leaked casting list of the upcoming Spider-Man solo film being co-produced by Marvel and Sony, set to come out in 2017. It's the names here, like I said, take this all with a grain of salt, but these are the rumored people who are going to be starring in the film alongside Tom Holland as Spider-Man and Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. So there are like 5 or 6 people to name here. The first one, this seems like it's been confirmed as reports are going that he's in final negotiations, but it looks like RDJ, Robert Downey Jr., will make an appearance in the Spider-Man film as Tony Stark. That's definitely exciting. The second one, Hugh Laurie is being rumored to play to play J. Jonah Jameson.
Ooh.
No.
So House as.
We will get to these names in a moment, but I'm finishing up the rest of them. This one, I have no idea who the hell this person is. Rachel G. Fox as Mary Jane Watson.
I read that. I have no idea who she is.
I have no idea who she is either. I'm hoping somebody does.
I'm IMDbing right now.
The next one is Timothy Chalamet as Harry Osborn. His previous acting credit was the kid version of Casey Affleck's character in Interstellar. That was his first most well-known acting credit to this point. So those are the sidekicks and other heroes. Now, let's get to the villains, and the first name being brought up, I'm sorry, let me start this one again. Let's get to the villains. According to a report that Kevin Feige listed, he said when the new Spider-Man films come out, he wants to focus on villains that have not been seen before in any Spider-Man film. He wants to focus attention on villains that we have not seen in a Spider-Man film. And according to this article, we are going to get 2 villains in the first Spider-Man film. The first one is Vulture, and the rumor name being attached to him is Billy Zane.
Oh.
And then the second villain is Scorpion, and rumor has it they're courting Jason Biggs from American Pie to play him. So everyone, those are like I said, take this all with a grain of salt. Nothing has been confirmed by any of this, but I want to get your thoughts and reactions to these named and possible characters appearing in Spider-Man. Jack, I'm going to start with you on this one. What do you think?
I hope it's not true, and I don't think it is true, especially the Jason Biggs things, because that was the same person and the same character that came out on the list a couple of months ago that everybody said was the real thing, and then we all found out, no, that was fake. And also, I've never heard of half of these people. Like, I've never heard of this Mary Jane, I've never heard of this Harry Osborn. And Hugh Laurie as Jameson, no. The answer is simple, and it's J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons, or get rid of the character.
Wait, who's playing Harry Osborn? Who's playing Harry Osborn? I missed that.
Hold on a minute.
Some guy nobody's ever heard of.
I think that's his name.
What's his name?
Timothy Chalamet.
Chalamet.
I'm Googling these people right now. But Rachel G. Fox... Rachel G. Fox, I don't know. She was in Desperate Housewives, and that's the only thing I've heard of. And Melissa and Joey, some TV series and stuff.
Okay.
But it looks like a pretty young cast. Like Tom Holland's 19, and she's 19 also. So I think it's like a young. And Timothy Chalamet within Interstellar, he played. In Interstellar, he played a character. I haven't seen Interstellar. He played a character. He played Tom, ages 15 years. So,
yeah, I know. I brought that part up.
Okay.
All right.
And then I don't think the Billy Zane thing is true either. He hasn't done anything recently. I think the last thing he did was on How I Met Your Mother.
Oh yeah, he was on How I Met Your Mother.
So he
was also in Zoolander.
Well, we will see. We will see. Colton, I'm going to get to you next. What do you think of these names and characters?
Well, I haven't heard of most of these people aside from Hugh Laurie, and well, I'm not against that. It's basically we're probably all gonna be thinking, oh, it's House shouting at Peter Parker as opposed to Jameson and whatnot. I mean, I can give it a chance. As for the bad guys, I haven't heard of the actors playing them. I don't think, but I am excited if they actually do go the route of using bad guys that we haven't seen. Like, they've really done the Green Goblin to death by this point. So I'd like to see Vulture or Scorpion being used. Or, heck, use the Chameleon. He'd be perfect for a starter villain, I think.
Yeah. I was all for that. I'd like to see Kraven at some point. But anyway, Caleb, let me go to you next. What do you think of these names and characters?
I mean... I don't know. I hope to God, okay, they have one main villain, right, and this other villain is a setup. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not even the actual villain. It's like you're meeting this villain. Why do we need two villains in every single like Spider-Man movie? Well, it's like why do we just have one bad guy? Like one bad guy that has a thing that we can really flesh out that character. Why do we need multiple bad guys? Because obviously one bad guy isn't enough in a Spider-Man movie. Have we had a Spider-Man movie with only one bad guy?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are two of the movies that I love. Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 3, and I mean, just too many damn villains. I hope to God that this one that this is a setup. Maybe like we're just gonna meet the character, and there's only one villain. But the other cast, yeah, please bring back J.K. Simmons. He was perfect in that role, literally perfect. You couldn't cast anyone better. But other than that, this list doesn't get me too excited.
All right. Avi, I will come to you next. What do you think of these names and characters?
Okay, first off, Jack, it wasn't Billy Zane, it was Billy Zabka from The Karate Kid. And secondly, first off, I won't be as harsh on the cast list for like we won't know until we see. But secondly, I don't think you need like big names like to just to make a Spider-Man film. Like people are saying, I've never heard of this Rachel G. Fox person or Timothy. However you pronounce his last name, but I don't know if they're good for the parts. It doesn't matter if they're famous or not. If they fit the roles, it doesn't matter how famous they are. And like, yeah, Billy Zane might not be a good choice, but you won't know until you see. So yeah, that's the stereotypical answer.
All right, Chris, you're up next. Give me your reaction to this?
Well, this is a kind of a cast list where you can really call into question the credibility of it. I mean, if it is true, you know, some of the choices do seem to be a bit solid. I mean, Billy Zane, you know, of course, you know. I mean, he's been primarily known for two films, you know, Back to the Future and Titanic.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you know, he hasn't had like.
And Zoolander.
Okay. Well, he hasn't really had a strong career. I think he should play the role of the Vulture. Jason Bates as you know, fucking
Scorpion.
Scorpion. What the fuck? Okay. I won't say anymore. I mean, yeah, Jason Bates. He was okay in American Pie, but hell, as a villain in a Spider-Man movie, don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh at all. And Hugh Laurie as J. Jonah Jameson, he doesn't even have the roughness, you know, to play that character. I mean, he's not as tough as J. was. I mean, you have to have a traditional six-yard choppy newspaper editor to play it, and Hugh Laurie doesn't fit that bill. I mean, if the casting list is bogus, I mean, I won't cry over it. Some of the names do seem a bit, you know, fitted for their parts. Some, I mean, most of them really don't, you know. But I mean, but if it is true, you know, I say he's a mediocre cast at best, you know.
All right. What I've got to say, man, I'd be excited to see RDJ come in and make a cameo as Tony Stark. It'll definitely tie it in with the rest of the MCU. The choices for MJ and Harry, like I said, I really don't know anything about them. Maybe that's ultimately a good thing, especially if this, you know, franchise is going to go a long way. Maybe you want some unknowns to kind of grow into these roles and all that. Billy Zane, I'm not really against him for Vulture. I mean, I had someone like a little different picture in mind, but you know, I think Billy Zane could do it. Like Chris said, he hasn't really done anything since Titanic, so I mean, maybe this is the vehicle he needs to kind of get his career back up and running. The only one I am firmly against is Jason Biggs, because when I think of him, all I can think of is, you know, Jim from American Pie asking, what does third base feel like? We all know the answer. We also know the answer to that. But anyway, I mean, you know, that's all I know him as, and that's what I think every time I think of Jason Biggs. So I can't really picture him playing a villain. So I mean, any villain for that matter, let alone unless like I don't know, maybe the Riddler. I could picture him playing like the Riddler or something, but that's really something like a comedic type of villain. I can't picture doing anything serious like Scorpion. So I mean, that's the only one I'm really against. But if this list is true, I don't have too much of a problem. But if it's bogus, I'm not gonna cry about it.
Yeah, but two things. You're immediately typecasting Jason Biggs as American Pie. He could play any role. Like, you said you don't see him playing a dark role. Actually, comedians play the best dark roles. Like, I can't...
1 hour photo. It's a Robin Williams 1 hour photo, stuff like that.
Jim Carrey in some of his mid-2000s and early 2000s roles.
Yeah.
Truman Show, I guess, doesn't really count. Cable Guy, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah, we'll see.
And Jason Bateman in the new Gift movie I heard was good. So yeah, comedians could play dark roles.
I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm just not seeing it. All right, guys. So those are the stories that I wanted to go over. We all got that out of the way. All right. So if you are all ready to go, let's get to the story. Let's get to the reason we're all here, and that is Back to the Future.
Excuse me, gentlemen. So just for a moment, I'd like to introduce a guest on my show. This is my little brother, Morgan. Hey.
How you doing?
Yeah, he's he's also a Back to the Future fan. He loves the trilogy. I asked him to be part of this whole thing.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome
No.
to the jungle.
Welcome to the nut house, to the nerd house.
I need to Google stuff that start with welcome to the...
Welcome to the jungle.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm getting that. Yeah, I'm getting to that.
All right. So let's get this started. Obviously, Back to the Future, as I mentioned in the opening, the original is celebrating its 30th anniversary. It is one of the most iconic films of all time. You know, Michael J. Fox is Marty, Christopher Lloyd is Doc Brown, the DeLorean, the time travel, just the memorable line, one of the greatest movie themes of all time. Is there anything negative you can say about this trilogy? I think not. So let's jump right into this. I can't wait anymore. The original Back to the Future, like I said, it's just an absolute masterpiece with great writing, great character, everything about it. Nothing negative you can say about it. It's just a glorious film. I saw that when I was like 10 years old, and it was such a magical moment for me. I instantly became one of my favorite movies of all time, and it still is to this day. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I got nothing negative to say at all. Colton, I'm going to start with you on this one. Talk to me about the original Back to the Future, the one that started it all.
Alright, well, I didn't see the original Back to the Future until I was maybe 8 or 9 or so. And when I saw it, I don't think I thought a whole lot about it originally, but upon repeat viewings, though, and as I got older, I really grew to love it. Like you said, it's just awesome. And the ending was one of the most iconic endings in cinema, I think, because I did not expect the DeLorean to actually take off and fly. I mean, I had actually seen images of the DeLorean flying for Back to the Future, the ride and all that jazz, but when it looked at the DeLorean was just going to stay grounded for most of the film, I'm like, okay, I guess that's just a ride thing. But when I saw it take off, I'm like, holy crap, that was awesome. And then we saw the to be continued tag, and then I'm like, okay, now I have to somehow find the next 2 movies. And this was back before on demand, so I had to basically just hope I could catch it on TV. You know?
Yeah, now they're always on TV.
Yeah,
AMC does like a trilogy like every week.
One of my favorite things about it is the skateboard chase. It's a very simple sequence, but it's very well done thanks to the editing, the music, and of course the ending where Biff and his gang crash into that truck and they're like, shit, crash.
I believe that was that was the first one, yeah. There were like multiple skateboard scenes in the trilogy, so that was always a theme to it. All right,
anyway.
He always fell into some type of...
If there's anything, I guess, slightly negative about the movie is that Lorraine hitting on Marty is, well, gross, and you do have to wonder how she just did not notice how Calvin Klein looks uncannily like her son and all that jazz. It's like time travel logic. It's very confusing, but I can let that go since otherwise the movie is very well written.
Yes. All right, Avi, I'm going to come to you next one. The original Back to the Future. Talk to me.
I was going to say the one negative thing, but I think Colton said it. How do his parents not remember him? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, this is my second favorite movie of all time. Actually, my favorite is the second one, which we'll get to. But yeah, this is. I'm not saying this is bad in any way. This is still like this is still like as close. Well, I wouldn't say a perfect film since there are no perfect films, but this is like as close to. I don't know. Everything works. I'm saying I couldn't find anything wrong with this movie, but yeah, I give it a 10 out of 10. I just find it amazing, and the best scene is actually the one of the scenes near the end, the guitar where he's playing Johnny Be Good, and he starts to disappear.
That was when he was playing Earth Angel, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Earth Angel. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, I call myself a Back to the Future fan.
Shame on you!
Yeah, yeah, Earth Angel. My bad. Yeah. That's probably one of the best scenes, but the Johnny Be Good scene's also good. But they're close enough to each other.
I guess you guys aren't ready for that yet.
Off
You're
topic.
gonna love it.
Off topic for a second, I would argue that there actually is such a thing as a perfect movie. That is the director's cut of Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan. That's just me, though, being the Star Trek fan that I am.
No, I have a bunch of. I have about 10. I have about 10 like perfect movies. But like, I'm sure if I nitpicked them, I could find flaws. Didn't you see the CinemaSins Everything Wrong with Back to the Future?
Don't remind me of those people.
It has flaws.
Blasphemy!
I know.
Anyway, let's move on. Jack, I'm going to come to you next. Back to the Future 1. Talk to me.
I really like it. Like they were saying before, the skateboard scene into the manure was great, and I love the ending where they're all at the dance, and he's like, "I guess you never heard of that sound yet.
Yeah.
You're not ready for that." And then I like, "Never
gave you
gonna
a British
give you
accent.
up, never gonna tell a lie
That's
and
right.
hurt you."
I don't think everyone's
And
seen that episode of Family Guy, Jack.
No,
Yeah,
watch
I don't
Family
remember
Guy.
Rick going Back to the Future.
Oh, that wasn't in Back to the Future. That was only the Family Guy thing.
Yeah, I've seen about 5 episodes of Family Guy.
I don't watch it at all.
Oops.
All right.
And then I thought it was funny that the mom was attracted to the son because it made the movie kind of awkward and interesting. And he has to get her to sleep with somebody else so he can be born.
Yeah.
All these people with like your R-rated humor, you just find anything that's creepy funny. That's actually a really creepy scene. If you change the music around, the horror movie. I don't know.
All right. Let's see.
Anything.
Caleb, I'm going to come to you next. The original Back to the Future. Floor is yours. Talk about it.
Yeah.
I think he disappeared on it.
No, he's there.
I can't see him, though.
He's muted. Just go to someone else.
No. Hold on, he's here. Wait, is he? I don't know.
He's muted. Go to someone else.
All right, while we wait for him. Chris, I know you are chomping at the bit on this one. I heard you holler a little bit when I said Star Trek was Star Trek 2 was a perfect movie, but we're here to talk about Back to the Future, so...
I don't consider Wrath of Khan to be a perfect movie. It's one of the best movies, but hell.
All right, well, we're not here to talk Star Trek. We already did that in July. We're going to talk Star Trek all Star Trek month. So, anyway, Back to the Future, go.
Back to the Future. This is one of the films that just it's movie magic at its best. It's got one of the best screenplays ever written. I mean, it's perfectly cast. It has a breathless pace to it. It has a really great heart to it. It has an unforgettable spirit. And just the screenplay is just so clever and ingeniously structured. You know, there's so many great things about this movie. And of course the DeLorean. That's like one of the most iconic pieces of. It's one of the most iconic vehicles in movie history. It's alongside the Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger. Is one of my favorite movie cars. You know, it has some great scenes to it. The skateboard chase is one of my favorites of all time. You know, especially when they go shoot, crash the manure truck. And the Johnny Be Good scene is also, and the ending when Marty's racing against time to go back to the future. You know, that still gets my heart racing. I'm always on the edge of my seat when that scene and when that scene's playing on the screen. And it has one of the great endings in the movie ever. Is that when that DeLorean lifts off and goes in Back to the Future? It's like, how many movies you can think of that end in a great way like that? You know, this is like
not many of them.
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back.
The second Back to the Future.
What about you?
Over 6.
What do you think of the first movie?
It's kind of good. The soundtrack's pretty good. The cast members are pretty good. And that's all.
That's all?
Go on.
Go on.
Well, it's kind of nice yet weird when he's like with his mother when he's younger. And the whole scene with Biff.
That's it?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Oh.
Gotta
Alright
mention
then.
the soundtrack. The soundtrack's actually amazing.
It is absolutely amazing soundtrack. And that theme
Yeah.
song, dude,
Yeah.
gets you every time, man. Gets you every time. All right, Caleb, are you back with us this time?
Can y'all hear me? I don't know what the hell going on.
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. Barely.
This thing friggin' sucks, dude. Like, it really sucks. I'll try to get some headphones, maybe, I don't know. But,
You said you were getting an iPhone, dude. Where is it?
yeah, but the mic's broke or something. Every time, like, all you hear is static.
I hear him fine right now.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
coming through pretty good this time.
Yeah, so
around.
be quick about it before we lose
phone.
you again, man.
This movie's a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's not like, unlike me, I don't think it's like far and away the best because I really like number 2. It's
Yeah.
pretty close, but the first one's the best for me. It's got great music, great scene, and for its time, it looks great. And it had one of the best villains I think in the cinema history. I mean, Biff. I mean, who didn't want to punch Biff right in the face? Like, an asshole, you know. It's such a, and because everyone can relate, you know, because if you were picked on in school, you know about that, you know. Everyone has that bully that just won't leave you alone every day, you know. Just like, I really hate this guy. And then watching all them newer just get dumped on him was so satisfying. Like, it was so.
Woo!
And so, I love this movie. It's really cool how Michael J. Fox, like, how he did this movie, and he also did what was it, Family Ties?
Family Ties.
Family Ties.
At the same time. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Recently, there was a couple reports, I don't know if they're true, that they want to reboot Back to the Future, and I almost fainted.
They better not.
They're not. I also heard.
Riot.
I also heard a Jaws.
One at a time, people.
I also heard a Jaws reboot.
Well, didn't Robert Zemeckis make Back to the Future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure that he stated that there won't be a reboot until he's dead.
Yeah, I heard that.
That he won't.
That
That
might
he
be
won't
soon for
allow.
all we know.
That he won't allow
that.
that.
I'm saying, like, isn't, you know, that news wasn't as bad as hearing it that they would want to reboot something like Star Wars. You know, that's something where I would riot in the streets and I would abort that. This though is pretty close. I mean, I love this movie. It's perfect. It should never be touched. But all in all, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. I mean, it's really pretty Ghostbusters as one of my favorite 80s movies. So.
Yeah. One other thing I did mention, like at the when this movie came out in 1985, that was kind of the year of Michael J. Fox. I mean, as Caleb mentioned, you also had a successful show in Family Ties. Back to the Future was the #1 ranked movie in all of cinema, which was a Michael J. Fox one. But he also held the #2 ranked film of 1985, which was Teen Wolf. That also came out in 1985. It was the second highest grossing movie of 1985. So that was kind of the year of Michael J. Fox. A lot of people don't know that. Michael J. Fox had the 2 highest grossing films of 1985, Back to the Future and Teen Wolf. Little trivia for you. All right.
Speaking of trivia, let's not forget about the fact that we almost had Eric Stoltz playing Marty.
That is also true. He was originally cast to be Marty McFly. I'm still not sure why he dropped out, actually.
The producers let him go because like they said he was like a little bit too serious, and they wanted someone to they wanted Marty to be a little bit more comedic. I mean, it's not that Eric Stoltz isn't a great actor. It's just that his approach to the character wasn't right. As they felt.
Oh no!
Well, whatever the reason, it worked out in our favor.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I think that it's how it went. Actually, Robert and Steven Spielberg actually wanted Michael J. Fox from the beginning, but he couldn't do it because of family ties. So they cast Eric Stoltz, but he wasn't working out. So they worked out a way where Michael J. Fox could do Family Ties and Back to the Future at the same time. So they worked out a schedule that allowed him to do it, and that's how he got cast as the role.
I'm reading an article saying that Stoltz was a fine dramatic actor, but he wasn't bringing the screwball energy the film needed.
Yes. Yep. All right. So looks like it worked out for everybody in mind. All right. So anyway, Back to the Future was a huge success. I'm not sure if Robert Zemeckis actually had plans to do a sequel, but I mean, obviously because the film did so well and they left it open, they did decide to do it. And the second and third movies were actually shot back to back, like at the same time, which allowed them to come out in consecutive years. So let's get to the second one because that came out for 1989, and it still holds up real. It's still a very good film. Obviously, it's kind of like Star Wars and Indiana Jones. It's a much darker movie. There's a little more like dark colors to it, a darker tone to it. Everything just kind of looks like everything's gone to hell in this movie, which it pretty much has. But still a very good film. Still enough comedy, but definitely a much more darker, serious film, and very refreshing from it. I enjoyed this movie very much. Yeah, solid film all around. Got nothing negative to say about it. I don't think we really have anything negative to say about any of these movies. But anyway, let's see. Caleb, I'm going to start with you on this one. Put down Batman Arkham Knight and talk a little about Back to the Future.
I'm not playing Madden. Sorry. I love this movie. I know there's some people that are. I absolutely love the second one. I like all the twists and turns, and I like how he sees himself playing, and now he has to avoid himself. I mean, I love all those twists and turns. I just think it's so cool, and I don't know. I really enjoy this movie. I mean, is it a step down from the first one? Of course, but I don't think it's that big a step. I think it's like a half step down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's still a fantastic movie. There are times when I like watching that one more than the first one. I mean, not that often, but I mean, I just think it's fantastic. It has a great story. It has a great everything. So I love this movie. I mean, I think it's very close to the first one.
All right. Jack, we're going to come to you next. Back to the Future 2. What'd you think?
Which one was this about? I can't remember.
Sorry?
This was the 1985 Sports Almanac one.
They go to 2015.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where he...
Today.
Yeah, where Biff becomes a millionaire.
Yeah. That was sick.
Yeah, I thought it was an interesting twist how they gave him like the what was it? The book, so he knew what team to bet on, and then he just became a millionaire. I thought that was really cool that they made the bad guy like kind of like the millionaire, and he had to like stop him from doing that, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yep. Anything else?
No.
All right, Colton, I'm going to come to you next. Back to the Future 2.
Okay, so first off, another bit of trivia. Supposedly, Robert Zemeckis has gone on record saying that he didn't want to make a sequel at first, and that this was just the ending was supposed to be a joke, and it wasn't until the movie was released on home video that they added the "to be continued" tag to it. But well, I'm glad we got more of the movie, so I'm not complaining. But I really like this movie. I know it's some people say it's not as funny as the first, and in some ways I can understand some issues with it, like Marty and I found the nobody calls me chicken gag to be funny. It wasn't exactly it wasn't in the first movie though. Looking at Marty, he does seem like the kind of person that wouldn't like being called names, so I can let that go. And it was also one of the funniest moments in the film when Biff says, "What's wrong with McFly?" Or not McFly, he says, "What's wrong, chicken?" And Marty, back in the 1955, he turns to Biff all seriously. He's like, "Nobody calls me," and then he gets hit by the door. But from his from his other self, that was just comedy gold right there. But this movie is also 10 times funnier since we're now in 2015, and though we've gotten some of the
They got
things that
Skype right.
We've got some things Back to the Future 2 promise, but no hoverboards, unfortunately.
Actually, no, there are hoverboards.
I keep hearing
I think
reports.
they are.
Well,
I've
how about
heard
my
like
power
7
lasers
reports.
also? Where are the power lasers, people?
Where did they
Yeah, they should have got that.
Where are the hover
And then
cars?
And then there's the
Flying
fact
cloak.
that they showed Michael Jackson. That's kind
Comes
of
win the World Series. Going to win the World
Yeah.
Series? Who knows?
They will.
Actually,
They're doing
might.
good. They're doing good.
They're doing really well, actually. They could do
They
it.
totally will. It's gonna be
Can you
amazing.
imagine
But
that?
anyway, However, the movie was still pretty funny. Like I liked how they did the skateboard chase again, but with the hoverboard this time around. And I did like some of the split screen gags, like how we saw Michael J. Fox playing himself, playing Marty and Marty Jr. at the same time. And some of the future gags were also cool as well. And having to go back to 1955 to save the day, I thought that was pretty clever. And I liked how they did foreshadow a few times that the next movie will be taking place in 1885, such as when they brought up Biff's ancestor Buford and the doc saying that the Old West was his favorite time period.
Yeah.
And let's see here, anything else? I also liked how Marty did the hey, what the heck is that gag? That was pretty funny. Especially how people kept falling for it because, well, yeah, it's Biff and his goons. They're not smart to begin with.
Yeah, well,
I also liked how they managed to work around the fact that Crispin Glover wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
It was a pretty seamless way. It was a pretty smart way of actually covering it up. I think most movies would just say, "Screw it, just hire another actor, and the audience won't care." So I gotta commend them for this, even though Crispin Glover actually sued them for this. I don't know if it's petty or not.
Yeah.
But, well, they did it without his permission, so I can see where he was coming from. And I did like how Marty went back to the 1955, and when he had to at first hide in the enchantment under the sea dance, he saw his parents kissing again, and I thought that was a pretty sweet. I thought that was a touching moment. How even though he was running, they still let him see his parents get together again one more time. And as for the ending, yeah, like, once again, it was the case of I was watching Back to the Future 2 on TV, so when I saw the words "to be concluded" on screen, I'm like, darn it! Because once again, I had to wait for the blasted movie to come on TV, for part 3 to come on TV, and that didn't happen for months, I think. Anyway, that's about all I have to say on the subject. Oh, wait a minute, one more thing. The part where Marty has to escape from Biff in the car tunnel, I think that was another pretty iconic moment in the series, along with Marty getting the letter from the doc assuring him that he's alive in 1885. That was a pretty good hope spot, one of the best in cinema, I think. All right, I'm good.
Oh, Colton, you're forgetting one thing. What the hell is that?
He said,
I had to go there. I'm sorry.
he turned around.
My dog turned around.
So Colton.
Good one, Paul. Good one, man.
I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to. Oh God.
This isn't unfriended. This isn't turning on to unfriended on us, is it?
There's a monster right behind you. Quick, close out Skype.
Okay.
Yeah, wait a minute.
All right.
We can make unfriended. We could make unfriended right now.
Too, Chris, talk.
Colton had to leave.
Oh, okay. Oh my God. Back to the Future Part 2.
Aye.
This was a film I was not really fond of because I felt, it was a few notches down for the original. But I've grown to appreciate it over time. It still's not as good as the first one, but it's still a pretty good sequel overall. It is. I mean, it could be too clever at times. I mean, there are some cars I approve of that are very clever. But there are some parts like it kind of.
I'm alive, guys. I'm alive.
Okay. There are certain parts where I feel it's a little too clever at times. But yeah, I enjoy the sci-fi elements. It has a little bit more sci-fi to it than the original film did. And also, I like I do like the feature of the 2015 scenes. They're probably my favorites in the whole film. And I like seeing the flying cars and all that stuff. And also I love the hoverboards. The hoverboards are so fantastic, man. Just like And it's a little bit more darker. Of course, it is darker and grittier in tone than its predecessor. It kind of reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode in some instances, you know. If y'all see It's a Wonderful Life, the whole Hartsville sequence. That, and of course, when he goes back to the alternate, in 1985,
Yeah.
that reminds me so much of that sequence. Just like Hill Valley gone to hell, straight to hell, stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's not hell, but it's Hill Valley. But I can't imagine hell being any worse.
Yeah.
It's Hell Valley.
Oh my lord! But hell, it's pretty. It has a pretty clever setup, I feel it goes down. It does go a bit too far at times. I think it's a little bit more zanier than the first film is in some instances. I mean, it's still a pretty good sequel.
I want a dehydrated pizza. I just want that.
They
I want
should have
dehydrated
invented
pizza.
that.
Okay, what do you think of it?
Well, this is probably one of my favorites out of the whole trilogy.
You and Abby are on the same page.
Well, I mean, there's only 3 in the trilogy. Of course, it's one of your favorites.
I mean, the 2015 thing, how come all those stuff is not available right now?
Skype.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice seeing what happens in the alternate universe where Beth gets super rich and everyone is like all X-mean and dumb and all that. Or the problem, Beth's all thinking he's going to commit suicide, but it turns out he doesn't. He's all telling Doc Brown, about to go back to 1955. He's like, I don't believe it. Yeah, that's what I think about Execution Part 2.
Shark still looks fake.
What was it, Jaws 19?
Yes, Jaws 19.
They're gonna make a film, and it's gonna be a 5th Jaws, and it's gonna be called Jaws 19. I'm calling it within 1 month.
All right.
I would actually pay money to see that.
A movie. I haven't even seen any of the other ones. I just see Jaws 19.
All right, Avi, you're Back to the Future too. What'd you think?
Yeah, my favorite film of all time. I admit the first one is probably better made, but I don't care. I like this one, and the first one's still amazing, but I like this one a little bit more. And Colton, you were mentioning. Well, first I'll say, besides for Crispin Glover, also Jennifer was different in the first 2 movies.
All right.
Yeah.
Because Elizabeth Shue was in the second one.
Right.
Still
prefer Chloe Wills.
Yeah, well, she was in the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Colton was mentioning the car chase scene where Marty's trying to get the score. What was it? The almanac. The almanac back. That's probably my favorite scene of all time. I don't know why, but it is. Yeah. I don't think it is as dark as people say it is, besides for like when they go back to the alternate 1985. But I actually think it's kind of like cheerful, like the lighthearted stuff in the movie is more lighthearted than the first movie. I don't know. I never pictured it. Oh, it's like darker than the first one. I don't think it's that dark. Besides for maybe when they go back to the alternate 1985. And maybe some of the stuff with like, that's part of the alternate universe. But yeah, I think it's really good. How many? I was going to also mention, but I almost forgot. How many people know that what's his name? Elijah Wood's in the second movie.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to use your hands? That's like a big.
I always thought like I'm the only one that knows that.
Where was Elijah Wood in that movie?
He's one of the 2 kids in the 80s arcade. He's the kid that says you have to use your hand. That's the baby's toy when they're playing like the shootout.
Wow, good
yeah.
man.
Yeah, I think it's just like such a just a fun, great, my favorite movie of all time, and has my favorite scene of all time, and I just think it's a great movie.
All right.
Like, the best.
Okay then. So as I mentioned earlier, Back to the Future 2 and 3 were shot consecutively. Like, as soon as they finished Back to the Future 2, they started working on Back to the Future 3, which allowed the films to come out back-to-back years. So, Back to the Future 2 came out in 89, 3 came out in 1990. It was the final installment of this. And, you know, I know a lot of people say that's probably the weakest entry, but truly, I don't think there are any weak entries in this franchise. Back to the Future 3 was a solid film. I like the way they used a Western theme. I mean, Westerns used to be a big part of Hollywood, so seeing it brought back even in this way was nice to see. Again, it was a fun movie from back to back. Definitely more reminiscent of the first one in terms of like the lighthearted comedic nature to it, not a lot of dark gray moment. Obviously, seeing Mary Steenburgen as Tara Clayton, I think her name is.
Yeah.
It's a very good character to bring up. Seeing Buford Tannen, the Mad Dog. I mean, just Marty adopting a Clint Eastwood moniker. I'm like, oh my god.
What kind of stupid name is that?
I would have gone with John Wayne, but I mean, he's the Duke, so I mean, what do you want? All right, so yeah, solid movie. The train sequence is amazing. Just the way they wrapped it up is just unbelievable. A great ending to one of the best trilogies of all time. So yeah, Back to the Future 3, I absolutely love it. All right, Caleb, put down the controller. Batman can wait a couple minutes. Why don't you talk to me a little bit about Back to the Future 3? I think he's too absorbed. Batman has him mesmerized.
He's looking at his camera.
But it's muted. It's muted.
Yeah, Caleb, you're up.
Caleb.
I'm here. All right, guys, can you hear me still? Please.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man.
Back to the Future 3.
Well, I mean, I like the movie. It's good. I'm just not a fan of westerns. Westerns bore me to tears.
But that's a western in like the loosest sense of its term. I mean, yeah, it takes place in the West, but I wouldn't say it's like.
I like the movie. It just I'm not a fan of westerns, so it really drags it down for me. You know. I mean, I don't know what else they could really do though. I mean, this was a creative idea to have another movie. But honestly, I could go without this movie. I mean, if it had just been the first two, I would have been happy. This one, I mean, it's good. It's a good movie. There's definitely like here's like the first one, second one, and then here's like third one way down here. In my opinion, again, this is just my opinion. I'm just not a. I mean, I like the movie, but I just think it's way lower than the first one.
All right. Jack, let me go to you next. Back to the Future 3. What'd you think of it?
I don't know. I don't really remember this movie.
The West.
Okay, then.
I haven't seen this movie in so long, so I don't remember really.
Okay, then. Colton, you're up next. Back to the Future 3.
When I finally saw this movie after searching for in a pre-on-demand world, I remembered thinking it was okay, but I like it a lot more now that I've been able to watch it more. And again, I'm older. Like some people say that Clara was an annoying character, and in some ways I can sort of agree with that. But on the other hand, I think she and the Doc, they work well off of one another, and I actually did like how Doc Brown got to have a bit more focus in this movie after the first two films were Marty's show. Like, I felt like Marty still was an important character in this film, but it was nice to see Doc Brown be a bit more important this go around, since this is his favorite time period and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And again, one of my favorite scenes is when he and Marty take a picture in front of the primitive clock tower.
Yep.
Speaking of primitive things, I also liked how Marty participated in a primitive version of Wild Gunman when he's like, "Where'd you learn to shoot like that?" 7-Eleven.
Oh, that's a great line. Oh my god, I love that line.
In addition to that, I thought the emotion was still there, like when Marty met his ancestors, Seamus and Maggie, and right before Marty leaves, he told Seamus to take care of his baby, and he's like, "I'll do that."
Yeah.
It was just nice to see Marty once again showing that he cares about his family and ancestors and what have you. And I was also shocked to learn that Seamus was played by Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Maggie was also played by the same actress that played Lorraine, because Robert Zemeckis didn't want her to not be a part of the franchise, and said that all members of all of Seamus' ancestors were secretly attracted to women that resembled Maggie, which is a little odd, but by the same token, Well, Jennifer does make me think of Lorraine a little in terms of their look, so whatever. Anyway, the scene that really got to me though was when the DeLorean was destroyed, because I did not see that coming. When it gets hit by that train and Marty simply says, "Well, Doc, it's destroyed, just like you wanted." Someone commented that the DeLorean was just as much a character as everyone else, and to see it just,
Yeah.
man, destroyed like that was well heavy, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, still it was kind of, well, not as emotional since the Doc came back with the time train and all that jazz, and it's revealed in the animated series that Doc Brown simply rebuilt the DeLorean, but it was still a heavy sequence. And the ending is also another iconic movie scene in cinema where Marty asks, "Where are you going now, Doc? Back to the future?" Nope, already been there. And he takes off and flies at the screen, and we see the words "the end" appear on screen. You feel like you've actually seen a complete journey. It doesn't feel like they just made the two sequels just for kicks. It feels like they told a complete story. And I also liked how Marty avoided that accident that he was supposed to get into without anyone strictly speaking telling him he was going to get into it, like Doc sort of hinted at it. But it was nice to see that Marty learned his lesson about controlling himself. And I liked how he and Jennifer got to be together again at the end of the movie where he wakes her up by kissing her. That was sweet. But I will say that the marketing for this movie was very idiotic because the trailer comes on right after Back to the Future 2, at least on the TV showings that I've seen, and it very clearly shows Marty and Jennifer in the present kissing. I'm like, well, spoiler alert, you jerks! Again, I don't remember seeing that thing when I originally saw Back to the Future 2, so I wasn't spoiled. But seeing it now, I'm thinking, geez, even back then, trailers always spoiled. And one last thing that was a pretty good moment in Back to the Future 3 was how they, once again, Marty walks into a drinking establishment and runs into a member of Biff's family, only things don't go the way they usually do, which in this case being that when Marty goes running out, he runs up to a couple of guys on horses, but he doesn't try to steal one. Like, he stole that guy's some skateboard or the hoverboard. He winds up just having to keep running for his life, gets captured, and has to be saved by Doc. That was a really great way to reintroduce him into the present version of Doc into the movie. It was also a nice Good, the Bad, and the Ugly callback, among other things. So that's all I have to say. Great ending to a great trilogy.
Yeah, you brought up how you show and though the scenes with Seamus and Maggie show that Marty really cared about his ancestors. They seem to care about him too in a unusual way. I recall the moments of Marty holding his great grandfather William as he's still a baby. The only other person that was like, and you peed on me. Wow, thanks for showing you care, kid.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
all right. Chris, I'm going to come to you next on this one. Back to the Future 3. What you think?
Well, I felt this is a little bit more better than Part 2, I believe. And still it's not as good as the first one, but it's still a very good movie all around. I love that they went back to the Old West. I thought that was like an inspired idea, an inspired place to go in our history, Yeah, I mean, I like how they. It's great to go back to see how All Hill Valley began. Of course, you see the infamous Clark Tower being built and all that stuff, and all that stuff. And it's not as. I feel it's a little bit more focused than Part 2 is, not as focused as Part 1 was, but it's still pretty tight, in some places, But also, yeah, like I said, one thing about the Western scenes, it looks like a backlog to me. It looks like and perhaps that's like a fault of the film itself. It looks too much like a soundstage, but I pretty much don't mind it. It's just it can be a little bit distracting. But I don't at times, but I really don't mind it at all. I liked the arc of Marty's character going from film to film. He could be courageous, brave, but he could also be kind of cocky, and lack a bit of self-control, And that's one of the great things I like about these films, and how he changes from film to film, Especially this. And I like the scenes, and of course the train scene was great. Great use of physical, actual model picture effects. That was pretty damn well done. And that ending still gets to me, when he goes off with the dog and stuff like that. Like, perfect wrap up to that whole trilogy. Is like this is a well done.
Paul?
Yeah, Chris, you still there? Or?
Yeah.
He finished.
Okay. All right, I didn't know if your guest co-host wanted to say something.
I was about to say. What do you think?
Well, to me, this is where, it goes downhill, because I didn't watch the third one that much. But, I mean, going to the Midwest, that does make sense when you go to present day, then the future, and then you go to the past. But, there was a part that I did notice in the ending where Marty's about to race Needles, and then we realized in the second one, he seen him all messing with his guitar, and his hands were all messed up, all because of that. But overall, it's not like I'm not saying I'll watch the cartoon series than the third one.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm done.
No.
All set? All right, Avi, you are up next. Back to the Future 3, Chocolo.
Yeah, I don't think this... Okay, I'm not gonna act like it's the best. I am gonna say it is the worst, but I still love the film. I'm not gonna act like it's a perfect film. I give the first two like 10 out of 10s. I give this like an 8 out of 10. I still think it's a great movie. I just don't. I don't think it's a perfect movie or even like up there with the first or second in my opinion. But yeah, I don't remember. I mean, I remember the whole movie, but it is still the least memorable of the three. Like, I remember a couple quotes, like when Marty McFly and Doc Brown switch, and Marty McFly says, "Great Scott," and Doc says, "I know this is heavy." Yeah, so I enjoy the film. I don't think it is as good. I'm kind of more with Caleb that he only likes it and doesn't think it's as good. Like, I'm not gonna act like it's the best or even the second best, and by default, I guess there has to be a weakest one, and this, in my opinion, is the weakest one. I don't think they're all tied.
Okay.
All right.
But I still like it. I still enjoy it.
Oh yeah, I mean,
something else I wanted to say before I forget. When Cisco and Ebert reviewed this review Back to the Future 3, I don't remember which one said it, but one of them actually said that this movie looked like it was Hollywood Wild West and not real Wild West.
It was Ebert that said that. Ebert made that comparison.
Yeah, it does sound like something Ebert would say.
Yeah.
So, I just wanted to see that in light of him. Someone saying that it didn't really look like it was the Wild West or looked like it was on a soundstage.
Yeah. It's hard not to, like I said, it's hard not to hate any of these movies. I mean, I think, can we all agree, like, Back to the Future trilogy is one of the best trilogies of all time?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, one of. I think it's the best, but there are some trilogies I haven't seen.
Yeah, I think Caleb will have something to say about that, about which one's the best next time. Next time, Caleb, in here.
Toy Story's next time.
Yeah.
I'll burn.
If I don't first one.
Wait, next time is Toy Story?
Yes. Yeah. Next episode, we are going to be discussing the Toy Story trilogy. Yeah. And Caleb's going to have a field day with this, and Avi, I would suggest mental
use your words very carefully, Avi. Use your words very carefully.
Shoot.
Leave Avi alone.
How considering this a trilogy if a fourth one is coming?
Not out yet.
All I gotta say is y'all better bring your big boy pants next week. Cause next week shit's going down. This is the only trilogy, in my opinion, that is perfect. That is perfect. It's better than Star Wars.
Take that back!
I can give plenty of points as to why the original Star Wars. That's right, Episode 4. There's a lot. I mean, I don't have a lot of problems with it, but I think it's a little boring at times. That's just my opinion. But that's me. Anyway, so that's for next time, though.
Yes, that is for next time. And with that, we are going to wrap up episode 36 of Nerd United Month. This has been a lot of fun. And I want to thank everyone for joining this time around. Avi left, so thank him for joining us. Chris, thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure.
It was a pleasure doing this, especially I love doing this kind of thing. Especially with your brother, doing this kind of thing.
I think Caleb was trying to say something.
All right, good. Caleb, something you want to say?
Oh wait.
Caleb.
Quick point. So because I missed last week's show, Paul. And
What?
It was the end of the month.
What?
I said because I missed last week's show. And it was the end of the month. I did get a bunch of stuff, and if you don't mind, Paul, I'd like to show it off right now.
By all means.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I got a few movies and other stuff. So I'll go through the movies first. I got Three Stooges. I haven't watched it yet. I'm a huge fan of the original Three Stooges. This movie, well, I've heard mixed reviews. I got the new Justice League, Gods and Monsters. Again, I haven't seen it yet, but looks pretty good. This next one,
Very good.
Yeah, it is.
My girl and my daughter. I got Anastasia. What wasn't for me? I got Talladega Nights.
Yeah. You kissed Walker in Texas.
This next one I got for 50 points. It's Treasure Buddies. This next one I got for like $5. It's Theory of Everything.
How'd you get that for $5?
I got it at a pawn shop, but it was brand new. So.
Ow.
And I got
Wow.
Get Hard.
Wow.
I saw Get Hard. It's not like good.
I got Dumb and Dumber 2.
Same with Dumb and Dumber 2. It's okay.
Haven't seen it yet. Want to check it out. Snatch on Steelbook. A little 3-pack here. Just a bunch of like kids movies and stuff. I got Kingsman.
Kingsman. That's the second best of the year.
Yeah.
Kingsman.
And then the last two I got at Best Buy. But now there was a bunch more of these, but I only got these two because these are ones that I didn't have. I got the graphic novel Blu-ray sets. They're beautiful. They look amazing. I got the Death of Superman, and I got Batman Black and White, which comes with Batman Gotham Knight.
I got three of those myself, actually.
Yeah, I only got those two parts because those were the only two that I didn't already have on Blu-ray, you know? If I didn't have the other ones, then I definitely would have got them. But because I already had them on Blu-ray, I was like, I'm not going to spend the extra money, you know? And I got a PS4, so that's pretty cool.
Hopefully I will have one in 2 months.
Yeah, I have the new Madden, which is fantastic. I have Arkham Knight, which I've already beaten. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much my update. So, yeah.
All right, Caleb. Thank you very much for being here. Not the same without you, my friend.
Yes, I know. Just like I said, like I was trying to say before. I mean, I work a lot. You know, we have the kids. I have a pregnant fiance, so I have a lot going on right now. But we're just doing the best we can. We should know the sex of the baby, everybody. Just want everybody to know that. And I will post that on Facebook. We should know that in the next few days. So whether we're having a boy or a girl. So that's pretty exciting. But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get back on. It's just been hard. Last week I wanted to join, but we couldn't find our tablets, so that's why I didn't join. So.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, I'm excited to be back. It's good to be back. Oh, and I'll definitely be back next week, right here.
Be ready.
Like next week.
Oh boy.
I'll be bringing big boy pants because it's gonna be bad. I'm gonna bring you to the woodshed.
Oh my god.
Won't happen. Anyway.
You scared Javi, he left. Scared Javi, he left.
Yeah, look at him. He ran away. Yeah. So,
All right.
I have returned.
All right.
Anyway, it's,
All right. And Colton, thank you very much for being here.
Happy to be here.
Chris, like I said, it's fun to be back.
Hope you all enjoyed my brother.
Yes, we did. All right, and Avi, thank you very much for being here.
Yeah, sorry, I left a couple times in the end, lost connection.
Oh, we thought Caleb took you away.
No, it was a connection. I think we blew it. But I'm back.
Now back to All right. So, that concludes episode 30.
Wait.
What?
I didn't say goodbye.
Oh, I didn't. I thought you did. All right, Jack, thank you very much for being here.
Caleb, turn on the microphone.
I had a good time, and next time you see me, I will be 1 year older. I will be 22.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
All right. So, guys, we'll see you next week for the Toy Story trilogy. Get ready for a duel to the death on this one because we will have it. A duel of words. It is going to be exciting. It's going to be riveting. We might get a little graphic. So get ready for all-out thrills, chills, and bloody spills next week on the Toy Story trilogy. Have a good day, everybody.
All right.